Hey guys, it's Rodney back for another Revelation remix where we take this Sunday's sermon and try to just recap it for you to make it a little easier to understand or in case you missed it altogether. This week's sermon is from Revelation chapter 2, verses 18 through 29. For time's sake, I'm not going to read those to you because these videos have tended to get a little bit too long, but I encourage you to pause the video right now, grab a Bible, read it real quick, see what you can pull from it, and then we'll recap it. So basically, Jim started off this sermon by talking about the way that God introduces himself here as he uses the term the Son of God. So Jim pointed out the genealogy of Christ in Luke chapter 3. So take a look at that as well. Luke chapter 3, it says, that Jesus was the son of this guy, that guy, the other guy, and then all the way down to where it says the son of Adam, and then the Son of God. So this is kind of bringing us back to Adam. It talks about right there, and bringing us back to the very beginning of time, where in the garden, Satan uses this all too often used lie to humanity, to Adam and Eve, the same one that he uses to us today, that it's okay, you can do whatever you want to do. There's going to be no consequences for your actions. Go ahead and eat that apple, Adam and Eve. Go ahead and eat that. No big deal. Yeah, God said that you're going to be in big trouble for doing it, but I don't think he won't actually punish you or kill you, right? Like, there's going to be no ramifications for your actions. Well, as we see in this passage here, we're being reminded of that again here, in that the beginning of the passage, God kind of commends us for what we've done to this point, for trying our best. It even says in verse 19, you are now doing more than you did at first. So he can see that when we were, maybe before we became a believer, or before we really understood what it meant to live for Christ, maybe we weren't quite living for Christ, but we're actually trying now, right? We think of areas that we struggle in, and maybe we're trying really hard to stay away from those temptations, but every now and then maybe we fall back into it. Well, we're trying. God sees your efforts. God sees that you're trying. But then he goes on to talk about a story from back in 1 Kings, I believe it is. But Jezebel, who's not an Israelite, but she married an Israelite king named King Ahab, and she brought with her all kinds of wickedness and evil, along with Baal worship and Asherah poles and different things that she brought back into Israel. But some of the other things that she brought were sexual immorality, and also like abuse of power. Those are two of the main things that Jim pointed out from kind of verses 20 through 23. And so the encouragement to us, I think, through this is for us not to look around and see other people that are living in sin, or that are not even trying to live for Christ, but it seems like they've got it all going on for them. Like they've got all the nice things. They're wearing the nicest clothing. They're doing the best on the sports teams. It's like, God, why are you blessing them? I'm trying my hardest to live for you. They aren't even trying, yet they're getting blessings. It's seemingly they're getting blessings beyond what I'm getting. What's the deal, God? Well, the encouragement is in these middle verses here, we'll look at in a second. God is saying, don't worry, they will get what's coming to them. They will get repaid for their deeds, and just like you and I will. All right? So a situation like we just talked about, that might be exactly what he's talking about here in verse 21. It says, I have given her, that's talking about Jezebel, time to repent of her immorality, but she is unwilling. So that situation that we just said, that might be a situation just like where God is giving that person or these people that we just kind of theoretically talked about time to repent of their ways. God is a merciful God. He wants to give us time to apologize, gives us time to repent of our ways and turn back to him. So that could be a situation like that. But at the end of this section in verse 23, it says, "And I will repay each of you according to your deeds." So just take heart in that. Don't be saddened by the fact that it looks like other people are being blessed, even though they're not trying to live for Christ. They will be repaid for their deeds. You will be repaid for your deeds. It's an encouragement to keep doing what you're doing, to continue to try to live for him. And then he goes on to say that in the same way that Jesus spoke of the disciples when they said, we've given up houses, we've given up family, we've given up jobs, we've given up everything for you, God. Jesus says that they will not fail to be blessed 100 times more and receive 100 times more than what they've given up here, right now, and in the age to come. All right, so sometimes we think about, okay, I'm doing these things, I'm trying to live for him so that one day I will be able to live with him in paradise and have eternity with Jesus. And yes, that's totally true, and that is so amazing and awesome. But it says that we will be even repaid here on this earth. It even kind of says, or alludes to that in verse 26. It says, "To the one who is victorious and does my will to the end, I will give authority over the nations." That's saying you're going to get blessed right now. You're also going to be blessed in the age to come. So for you guys that are listening, I hope this is an encouragement to you guys. I hope you're able to maybe be shown, hey, I'm struggling in this area, but maybe God's being merciful to me right now, giving me time to repent. So please take this opportunity to evaluate your life, to look and see where you might be falling short, and ask God for forgiveness in those things. Also, if you're trying, God sees you trying. He knows you're trying your hardest, and keep at it, because you will be repaid for your actions. There will be consequences for our actions. So let's try our hardest this week to have those actions be God glorifying. Have a good week.